one of the most remarkable aspects of ancient Indian civilization was its systematic approach to scientific and mathematical inquiry. This wasn't separate from spiritual investigation. Rather, the same minds that explored consciousness and liberation also developed sophisticated understanding of the natural world, creating innovations that would influence global development for centuries. Let's begin with mathematics, where Indian contributions were truly revolutionary. The Hindu-Arabic numeral system, the symbols 0 through 9 that we use today, originated in India. The oldest evidence for this system appears in the Bakhshali manuscript, written around the 3rd–4th century CE. By the end of the 9th century, this system had been adopted by Arabic mathematicians and was later introduced to Europe in the 12th century. The concept of zero, perhaps the most important mathematical innovation in human history, was developed in India. Brahmagupta, in the 7th century CE, established written rules for arithmetic operations with zero and negative numbers, centuries before these concepts were fully developed elsewhere. His work, the Brahmasruta Siddhanta, provided systematic methods for using negative numbers in arithmetic and algebra. The discovery of what we call the Pythagorean theorem actually predates Pythagoras by nearly 1,000 years. The Sulba Sutras, dating from 800–500 BCE, contain geometric principles including this theorem, discovered by Rishi Bodhyana in his Bodhyana Sulbasutras. These mathematical insights emerged from practical needs, constructing precise ritual spaces, but evolved into abstract mathematical principles that influenced global mathematical development. Indian mathematicians made fundamental contributions to algebra. Known as Bijaganita, algebra originated in India from ancient texts called Brahmanas around 2000 BCE. The Sulba Sutras describe geometric methods for transforming squares into rectangles with given sides, showing techniques similar to linear equations. Mathematicians like Brahmagupta in the 7th century and Bhaskara II in the 12th century made groundbreaking contributions to algebraic methods and solutions. Trigonometry also has Indian origins, developed to solve astronomical problems mentioned in the Surya Siddhanta from the 5th or 6th century CE. Aryabhata played a significant role in developing various trigonometric concepts that became fundamental to mathematical and astronomical calculations worldwide. The Fibonacci sequence, known in India as Matrimaru, was discovered by Acharya Pingala around 200 BCE, much earlier than Leonardo Fibonacci's European discovery. Pingala used this sequence to understand binary digits and numbers, and he explicitly noted that binary numerical concepts had come to Europe from India through Arab mathematicians, though later European scholars chose to call them Arabic numerals. Pingala also developed a binary number system for describing prosody, the musical patterns of verse. In his treatise Ch. Nd, a letter 1e25 execute a macron str, the earliest known Sanskrit text on prosody. This represents one of the earliest systematic approaches to what we now call binary mathematics. Indian mathematicians also made crucial advances in what we now call calculus. The Madhava-Leibniz series was discovered by Madhava of Sangamagrama in the 14th or 15th century, centuries before its independent development by James Gregory and Gottfried Leibniz in 17th century Europe. In astronomy, Indian achievements were equally impressive. The Surya Siddhanta, composed around the 4th–5th century CE, calculated the length of a sidereal year as 365.256367 days, remarkably close to the modern value of 365.2563630004 days. This precision in timekeeping was essential for both practical calendrical purposes and sophisticated astronomical calculations. Ancient Indian astronomers understood planetary motion with remarkable accuracy. Brahmagupta, in 628 CE, developed concepts of gravity and gravitational force, using the term GURUTVA macron K a R letter 1e63, a letter 1e47, to describe the attractive force that draws objects to Earth, centuries before similar ideas appeared in other traditions. Aryabhata made revolutionary astronomical discoveries, proposing that the Earth rotates on its axis and providing accurate calculations for eclipses and planetary positions. His work influenced astronomical thinking throughout Asia and eventually reached European scholars through Arabic translations. In Vedic astronomy, celestial bodies were understood systematically. The Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, and the shadow planets Rahu and Ketu were recognized as the Navegrahas, 9 celestial influencers. The concept of the sun's 7 chariots described the 7 colors of sunlight and represented the 7 days of the week, showing sophisticated understanding of solar phenomena. Medical achievements were equally impressive. Sushruta, the founder of the Sushruta Samhita in 600 BCE, described over 300 surgical procedures, 120 surgical instruments, and 8 types of surgeries. His texts detail cataract surgery, plastic surgery, and other advanced medical procedures that remained authoritative for centuries. Charaka developed sophisticated understanding of anatomy, physiology, and disease that formed the foundation of Ayurvedic medicine. These medical texts showed systematic approaches to diagnosis, treatment, and prevention that parallel modern medical principles. The atomic model was first conceptualized by Maharishi Kanad around 600 BCE in Prabhas Kshetra near present-day Dwarka in Gujarat. He developed ideas about invisible particles called Paramanyu that form the basis of all matter, anticipating modern atomic theory by more than 2 millennia. Various forms of martial arts existed in ancient India and were systematized by sages and monks. Bodhidharma, for example, played a huge role in developing and spreading Indian martial arts along with Zen branches of Mahayana Buddhism, significantly influencing Chinese martial arts traditions. What's particularly remarkable is how this scientific and mathematical knowledge was integrated with philosophical inquiry. The same precision and systematic methodology applied to mathematics and astronomy was also applied to questions of consciousness, ethics, and spiritual development. This integration challenges modern assumptions that separate scientific and spiritual inquiry. For ancient Indian thinkers, investigating natural laws and investigating the nature of consciousness were complementary activities, both requiring careful observation, logical analysis, and systematic methodology. Modern scientists have recognized these connections. Physicists like Erwin Schrödinger, Werner Heisenberg, and J. Robert Oppenheimer found parallels between quantum mechanical principles and concepts from the Upanishads about the nature of reality and consciousness. Schrödinger wrote about the unity of Vedantic philosophy being reflected in wave mechanics, while Oppenheimer famously quoted the Bhagavad Gita after witnessing the first atomic bomb test.